Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
South Six Nations.
Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister just handed the keys to his government to Marc-Andre Blanchard, Trudeau's UN ambassador and now his chief of staff. This is the guy who wants to invest in killing oil and gas and do it.
Would the member like to rewind a bit and to...
From the top?
Sure.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister just handed the keys to the government to Mr. Blanchard, Trudeau's UN ambassador, now his chief of staff. This is the guy who wants to invest in killing in oil and gas. Where are the claps? And do it through Brookfield. Right. Who else worked at Brookfield? Anyone? Well, it was the Prime Minister himself. Why is the Prime Minister surrounding his government with Trudeau loyalists who want to shut down Canada's energy sector? And is that why he still refuses to publicly disclose his Brookfield assets?
The Honourable Government House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, first of all, we welcome the appointment of a new Chief of Staff in the office of the Prime Minister. Mr. Blanchard is a great public servant, a great Canadian who has had a stellar career in the private and the public sectors, and we welcome back to public service. And as for the Prime Minister, he follows, as all members must, the most stringent code of ethics for elected members in the world, and the Prime Minister will obviously continue to comply with all of the rules.
Hear, hear. Honourable member for Brantford, Brant South Six Nations.
Not just the energy sector under threat, it's public safety too. While the Prime Minister's new Chief of Staff is hell-bent on shutting down oil and gas, he's also brought back David Lametti as Principal Secretary, the same failed Justice Minister.
If the member can start from the top on that.
Lacking incompetence, the same minister that they fired. This is the same minister who gutted bail and pushed soft on crime bills like Bill C-5 and C-75 that they all voted for. And laws that helped unleash chaos on our streets, drive violent crime up 50%. Is the Prime Minister really doubling down on the same Trudeau insiders who always put criminals over that of community safety?
The Honourable Government House Leader.
There seems to be a very odd fixation on the personnel decisions in the Prime Minister's office. The obvious accountability is done in this House, as the member well knows, and he can ask any question that he wants to any minister of this House without impugning people that aren't here. But Mr. Lametti, for his part, a great former parliamentarian, a great Italian Canadian, a distinguished person who is entering public service. These people should be celebrating that great Canadians are prepared to step up and enroll for public service and serve Canadians.
The Honourable Member for Calgary Signal Hill.
The Prime Minister yesterday announced his new Chief of Staff and Principal Secretary. These are two of the top officials, some of the most powerful people in Ottawa, directing policy. The new Chief of Staff wants to kill oil and gas and says it needs to be done through Brookfield. David Lametti was Trudeau's Justice Minister, oversaw our broken bail system, and kept C-5 and C-75 laws on the books. Why is the Prime Minister surrounding himself with Trudeau officials that want to keep oil and gas in the ground and keep soft on crime laws on the books?
The Honourable Government House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I do not understand this odd fixation with personnel decisions. What we have in this House is a number of public servants who are quite willing to answer questions about the public policies of this government and to be held accountable for those. We obviously celebrate when distinguished, capable, and talented people join the Government of Canada. That is certainly the case, as we heard over the weekend. But I suggest that members move on to asking about the issues that Canadians are concerned about.
This is the worst.
Barrie South, Innisfil.
For 7 months, parliamentary committees have sat idle while, according to the Prime Minister, the country is facing an existential threat, and it appears that he's in no rush to have them constituted. Committees are an important function of our democracy. Committees are where bills are scrutinized, where witnesses tell MPs about the impacts these bills and threats are having on their businesses, their lives, and their communities, where the government is held to account. We don't have a budget, and without committees, there will be no oversight or accountability. Maybe that's what the Prime Minister wants. Will the Prime Minister commit to ensuring committees are in place before his summer vacation starts?
The Honourable Government House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I've taken careful note, and of course, standing committees will be constituted in this House, as they always are. But I wonder where that member was last fall when this party spent 3 straight months refusing to hear one single government proposal with respect to improving the lives of Canadians, with respect to improving our environment, with respect to moving forward on Nylon projects. Where was that member? He should be ashamed of asking that question.